What's up guys, Curtis Ho here for some basic introductory chemistry experiments for anyone studying chemistry to understand and get to know. So today what we're looking at is a decomposition reaction where we add two reactants together, and what happens is that one or more of the reactants are broken down into their constituent parts. In today's experiment, what we'll be looking at is the reaction between hydrogen peroxide, which is H2O2, and manganese oxide, which is MnO2. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to pour out some hydrogen peroxide. It essentially looks just like water, but don't drink it because it's not. We'll get some of this manganese oxide here, put it into a test tube, and we'll see what happens. Manganese oxide is this fine, dark brown powder. Put it into our test tube. Close that up, add in our peroxide, and give it a little shake. You start to see bubbles being formed, and whenever bubbles are being formed, that means a certain gas is being formed. We'll leave that to sit there and react a little bit, and the sort of reaction that's going to happen. Oops, that's a bit. This is producing a certain gas, and we're going to test what sort of gas that is. And the test that we're going to perform is a glowing splint test. And that's a really classic reaction for a really important gas that we all really need to live on this planet. So if we light up a splint, we'll let it burn for a little bit until we see this glowing color at the end of the splint, and then we'll extinguish the flame. And what we're going to do is introduce this glowing splint into the test tube, and we should see that as we introduce it there, it reignites. And the intensity of the flame gets bigger. So that's a really classic example of testing for oxygen gas produced from this reaction. So we can start to think that both these reactants, manganese oxide and H2O2, or hydrogen peroxide, have a lot of oxygen in it. So what's really happening in this reaction? What is decomposing? We can start to see that this manganese oxide is catalyzing the decomposition of hydrogen peroxide to produce oxygen gas. And we saw that from the glowing splint experiment, where we put the glowing splint in there and it reignited that splint into a flame. So there you have it. It's a decomposition reaction, a very classic test for oxygen gas, and I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you guys next time.